far as we know, the first people that were living on or near the river were the Playa Indians. Then the Spanish started arriving here in the late 1600s. So this is where they had their army camp in this little section called La Villa, which is Spanish for the village. And on the left right here above the seats, we have a little archway. It says entrance to La Villa. And there you'll find an old village started by French and German immigrants in the mid-1800s. Now it's gift shops. And on the right, we have 5 bells on the stage to honor the 5 missions here in town. I don't know if they had a show here last night or not, but it looks like they're already taking everything down, so they're celebrating Day of the Dead. Alright, so there is a statue coming up on the right here of a cowboy during a cattle run. The statue sits outside of this building. This is a museum. It's called Briscoe Western Art Museum. It's named after our late Texas Governor, Delvin Briscoe. So if you like things that have to do with cowboys or the old American West, what you'll find inside there are things like beautiful paintings, old saddles, old rifles, just to mention
Tayong dalawa, hinarap ka sa atin.
The water is very shallow right here. The ground underneath the water is hard packed. And so this was a popular crossing point of the river for the early settlers of the 1800s. They would come down here to water their horses and wash their buggies. They would pick up grain from a grain mill that used to sit on the right here called the Nazareth Mill.
Cute ng bata.
Right here to the right, there's a tree, a couple of benches, and this little statue of a table. But if you notice, everything is sitting on the roots of the tree. And by itself, it made a heart-shaped island. And so for this reason, this little island is called Marriage Island, because many people have real weddings right here. They feel like it's good fun to get married.
No.
Now you may notice some of the lights hanging from the
No,
trees,
they never been here
lights
before.
hanging from the trees.
Ayaw nila eh.
They get turned on once a year, the night after Thanksgiving.
Alam lang nila kung saan na sasakay pero they never been here.
Right now the city's checking the lights and making sure they
Ang cute, ang ganda.
The holidays are a very, very busy time of the year for us, because not only do we get a lot of local visitors, we get locals that come down with their children to look at Christmas lights. This building right here on my left with the U.S. flag on top is a 400-foot tall building called the Tower Life Building. This was built in 1929, the year of the famous stock market crash that led up to the Great Depression. The very top of the building has gargoyles sticking out of the edges. And underneath the second floor windows are some grotesque-looking faces in groups of 2s. Right there where I'm pointing if you can't see them. And the reason all this was put on this building back then by the original owners is because they were superstitious and they thought that this would protect them against evil spirits and bad luck. The building on the right here is called the International Center. Inside this building, you'll find offices that have to do with business and trade between Canada, Mexico, and the United States. And the building directly in front of us right there, that's our courthouse. It's the Bexar County Courthouse, built in 1897. One of the oldest courthouses in Texas. And it's red like that because it's made from granite and red sandstone. Okay, I'm going to honk the horn right here to let folks know we're coming out of this section. We had a flood here in 1921 that was pretty bad. Not only did the water do millions of dollars in damage to the buildings downtown, 50 people lost their lives. So one of the things the city did after that flood is they put a door right here A door comes up from underneath the water to separate that horseshoe-shaped part of the river we just left, where all the restaurants and hotels are, from this part right here. In a couple of minutes, we'll go through the other gate. And so the way it works now is that if the city ever feels like the riverwalk is in danger of flooding, they can close both of the gates. And pumps that were built all around the river in the 1920s release water from that section into this one to keep it level and protect the businesses. Now, our river is a freshwater river. 4 springs come together to form this river, several miles ahead of us to the north around the University of Courthouse. From there, the river comes south to the downtown area where we are right now. Then the river keeps going south behind us. Eventually, this river runs into the Gulf of Mexico. So we're going to make a right turn now. We're going back into this horseshoe-shaped part of the river. If we were to go straight ahead into the section in front of us right there you would find mostly hotels, condominiums, and apartments. That's the only section of the Riverwalk where fishing is allowed. We do have fish in this river. We have perch, sunfish, catfish, just to mention a few of the many different types. Look at this tree in front of us right here as we're going to turn. This is another bald cypress tree like the one on Marriage Island, except this one is 90 feet tall, over 200 years old, with a circumference of 25 feet. We have a lot of construction going on the right side here, so it may get a little noisy for just a minute or two, and then we'll be out of range. I do want to show you something in the middle of all the construction, right here on the right, coming up on the right. And on the left right here is the Drury Hotel. And if you look in the windows at the chandeliers of this hotel, they took pictures of this building during that flood of 1920. In the photographs, you can see that the flood waters were touching the chandeliers of that building. That used to be our city public service building back then. Right here where this boat is in front of us, this is our third and final location where you can take a boat ride with us. We call it the Aztec location because there's a big theater on the right here on street level called the Aztec Theater, which opened in 1926 as a silent movie theater. These days it's used mostly for rock concerts. I don't want you to feel like anyone's getting a different or better tour than you are. Regardless of whether you start at the mall like we did, or Historia, or right here, we're all covering the same things. We're just starting at different points. There are 2 hotels right here I'd like to tell you a little bit about. The one on the right, the beige-colored building, that's the Moncada Hotel. And that building used to be a factory that made saddles in 1901. It was called the L. Frank Saddlery, and they were known for making high-quality saddles. This hotel right here on the left, this is La Mansión, which is mansion in Spanish. The building used to be a school back in 1853. This was St. Mary's School for Boys. And what happened here is that in 1966, 2 former students came back and bought the school, and then they changed their minds and turned it into a I want to show you an optical illusion right here. As soon as we come out from underneath this bridge, if you will quickly look up at this building on the left on the other side of the bridge, because of the way that it was built, it will appear as though it's a flat freestanding wall. Okay, so if you're ready to look again, right here you can see plants. This building used to be a hospital. All the things built in the 1930s. About a year and a half ago, they closed their doors for good. The building is now vacant. So we're over the halfway point. Everyone's still doing okay? All right, very good. We covered a lot. We got a little bit more to go. I did want to point out these trees all around us right here. These are more of these bald cypress trees.
I know.
I would guess these are probably over 200 years old.
Yeah.
What we're going to do right now is we're going to make a right turn. We're going to enter the part of the river walk that has the most restaurants all in one area. So we could talk a little bit about how the river was turned into a tourist attraction in the 1940s.
Ano, hooter ba yan? Tingnan mo. Hooters ba yan? Yun yung babaeng nakatayo dyan na ano.
Now the hotel in front of us right here is we're turning
Hotel
this is
Kilt.
the Hyatt Regency, which opened in 1981. And this hotel is very, very close to the Alamo. So close that if you walk into the doors right here and walk through the lobby and walk straight out the other side of the building, you would come out directly in front of the Alamo, right across the street from the Courthouse. This section we're starting to enter is the part of the river walk that has the most